Hello automators, thanks for tuning in again. I'm Brian from Automate Your Life, and today I'm going to tell you that Halloween decorations and decorations in general are just too difficult, and you have to buy the right products to make them look nice, and then you gotta set it up, you get the extension cables out, and somehow you gotta make that all look nice, and then you have to store it after the fact. I think that we can do things in a little bit of a better way, and just with some gadgets that we have probably around our house, or maybe a few we've got to buy, but then we can dual purpose them or use them in our homes after, or even better yet, use them for Christmas decorations right after. So today I'm going to share with you a number of devices and a number of simple ways that you can use some smart gadgets to up that Halloween decoration level. The first one is incredibly easy, and that's because a lot of us already have video or smart doorbells in our home. So this is the one from Google. This is the Nest Video Doorbell. But if you have a Ring doorbell, well, then you have access to go into their respective apps and to choose the seasonal ringtones that they have available. And right now, even on this brand new one from Google, I was able to choose the Halloween ringtone. It'll look a little different in the Ring application than I'm able to show you right now, but it's basically the same thing. And what happens is when the kids come and they press that doorbell, they get a special little ringtone. And it gets even better when we add in the respective speakers. So, I have the Nest Video Doorbell here, and here's a Nest Mini. Now, these two combine, and when this is pressed, this plays the same ringtone that is playing out of the little speaker on here. With those Ring speakers, you'll want to get a little echo or a little echo dot. And what's a really great idea to kind of up the level of just pressing this and having that little speaker make a little noise is to actually stick one of these outdoors. And if you're worried about the speaker itself getting ruined, well, put it on your porch, or you can get a little mount like this. So just crank up that speaker, and then it becomes like an echo and a second set of those creepy sounds that you're going to get out of these video doorbells you already have.
Someone's at the porch doorbell.
A lot of people get concerned that they can't stick their smart bulbs or smart lights outside. And what I'll tell you is that I have been living in Canada here my whole life, and we have minus 40 Celsius in the winters. And that is some of the harshest conditions that you're going to see around the Halloween season. So absolutely, I don't think there's really any concern that you're going to have with putting a smart bulb in a fixture that you already have lighting in today. It's only extremely hot weather that I would ever worry about a smart bulb, and only a few of them. So honestly, they're going to be fine. The other thing you won't want to do is get them buried under a ton of snow or a ton of rain, have them just submerged in that, but that's the same as any other electrical device that you have. So the fact is, you can use smart bulbs, and I really like companies like Philips Hue because they make this really easy, and it's very reliable for you to get smart lighting outdoors that works great. There's a couple of reasons, and one of the big ones is that they work with everything else. So, as I picked up these speakers earlier in the video and I showed you the Echo and the Nest Mini here from Google, well, those lights work with both of these companies, and they also work with Apple HomeKit if you have an iPhone, and they work with Samsung SmartThings. There's basically no system that I can tell you that they don't work with. It gets better too, because you can buy some of their little fixtures and use them as accent lights for your setup. And what I mean by that is, here's the Hue Go lamp, and this has been out on the market for a very long time, and actually there's a battery in that base that will last you about about 3 hours. So you could stick this behind something and not even have it plugged in if you'd like, and you can change the color of that fixture. Plus, these are the Hue Play bars, and I have these, they're on the back of my TV right now, but you could use those as accent lights behind any of your other Halloween decorations. Those ones would require you to plug them in, so it's not like the Hue Go lamp there. There's no battery in them. But what I really like about all of Hue's products, so you take those smart bulbs, you put them out there, you take a couple of those fixtures that you bought or a couple of those other special lights, and you bring them all into the application, and then you use a feature called Hue Labs. What the Hue Labs section allows you to do today is to roll through different colors, and you can pick from different motifs or different themes. And of course, there's a lot of different ones that you're going to want to use with your Halloween decorations. And it will sit there and roll through those colors constantly for you. Plus, you can pick all of those lights that we just talked about. Then you can schedule that to turn on based on sunset or sunrise or a time frame around sunset or sunrise, and you can just schedule them throughout the night, so you could even apply different effects throughout the night. I think Govi and their Govi Glide product is a really great idea for under railings to really create specialized effects, and you can use this in a number of sections, and you can even turn a corner with the little corner piece they give you, so you can kind of customize that light, and then the effects are totally DIY, which means you just sit and play inside of the app and choose the different colors and the different spots you want it to show up on that light, and you can have it move. So really great product. It'll stick nicely under railings or on the side of railings, and you have a great addition there for a couple of weeks or even just a couple of days around Halloween. Twinkly also has really great products for this, and one of the reasons I like Twinkly these days is because you can dual purpose them or you can triple purpose them, and they have a music version or a sound version that would react to sounds that maybe are happening outside. So you could actually just turn on that mode, choose the colors, and then just let it be affected by things like your smart speakers. So I really love that idea, and when I'm done all of that, I can just bring those Twinklies in. They're gonna go on the tree really nice, because that's truly what they are. I find smart plugs to be a lot better than those ones you buy in stores, and I know that those are nice in a couple of ways, because you can usually set them when kind of the sun has gotten low enough to just turn on all of your decorations. That's nice and everything, but I like these a lot better because not only can you do that kind of a thing where you set them during, you set them for sunset or sunrise again, but you can also set them for different times. So you can actually turn on different decorations as you go throughout the evening and even on separate days. So you can actually have different decorations for different days if you're someone who's already got too many. That will save you a little bit of money, but what's even better is when you go out and you get one of those outdoor plugs. And I really like the one from TP-Link because they connect to a lot of different services, but this is a Smart Life one. This was really inexpensive. Again, it's a company called Tekken, so you don't really know these companies, but this works really well. And if I'm not using an outlet, I can close it up. I get a sealed component for those. So I really like this kind of a solution. Plus, I can control these three independently. Now, there is one type of Halloween decoration or Christmas decoration that I've purchased in the past that seems really hard to automate and to make a little more special, but that is until you know this little trick about smart home gadgets. Many of these decorations will have little remotes, and I remember this one that I purchased. It was a projector that I could put slides into, and as I did that, it would display and kind of move around my home. And these are nice decorations, but what it always meant was that I had to remember to go to the window, point that remote at the decoration out there and turn it on. Now, the great news about that thing was it had Halloween, it had Christmas, it had Easter, it had all kinds of things. So these are great decorations to use, but they're kind of a pain because you always got to remember. Well, this requires what's called an IR blaster, and that's just the name we give to these smart gadgets that can do this. But really, that's a short for infrared blaster, and it's the same thing that you've had on a TV TV remote for as long as you can remember. My favorite is called the SwitchBot Hub Mini, and I use this for a number of reasons, but it's really good at learning those remotes. So you can actually train it to learn what a remote does and what each individual button does on that remote, and then you can ask either the voice assistants that you have in your home or the SwitchBot application to turn it on or turn it off at a certain time, or press one of those buttons at a certain time. So this is a really easy way to schedule those things and not have to think about it ever again. So far we've added a few features, we've added a few lighting options for you, and we've maybe made it a little more convenient for you over the long run here, but now it's time to kind of level things up and make it a little more fun for the kids. And you know what, I think it's been pretty hard on, I know my kid and I know most of the kids, they just haven't had the same Halloween or the same holiday experiences. So if we can take and step this up a little bit really easily, let's do it. Here is a motion sensor from a company called Yolink, and this is specifically a outdoor motion sensor, and you don't want to try and take a regular motion sensor that you have in your home for your security system and put that outside. It's got to be specially crafted for the outdoors, or it's just not going to work right. You would need to buy the Yolink hub as well, so there's a little added expense, but it's not a really expensive one, and then you can pair it with this motion sensor. And what's really fantastic about this device is you could put this a quarter of a mile away from that hub and it would still communicate with it. So for those of you with really long driveways, you want to know when someone's coming up the driveway, there's a great purpose there. But this means you can put this pretty much anywhere outdoors and you're going to capture those people coming up to your home or anywhere in your display that you'd like. What's even better is with that Echo speaker, you can start a routine, and that means you can start any of the things that we've been talking about here. So you could change your smart lighting in that moment. All of those smart bulbs that you just stuck outside, you could change what they're doing in that moment. So instantly you kind of spook people a little bit. You can play music, and there's tons of great Halloween playlists on Amazon Music right in that moment, and you'll start to freak people out again. So it just adds that next level of ambience. In front of me here, I have my Yolink motion sensor. I have a Govi Glide, it's called, but I've only taken one segment. It actually goes much further and has the corner piece. And this is the light from my porch. It's a full color bulb, and it would normally be sitting on orange as people are walking up to my home. Now I've created a routine that you can fully copy here, and I'm not going to show you how to create every component of this, but this routine could be replicated and it could be used with your different devices. Now I've given it a name called Halloween Start, and my trigger is the outdoor motion detects motion. So that's this sensor, that's its name in the Amazon Miss A application, and you can see that I have chosen to suppress it. Now what that means is for 5 minutes this won't happen again. That motion sensor cannot trigger the routine to happen again. You could choose a lot of different time frames. So if you don't want the music that you're about to hear to play a number of times, you can choose that. Plus, you can have it where it's only active between certain times or active on certain days. So you get to pick all of that. Now the actions are intended to just have a fun little sequence as people trigger that motion sensor. So the first one is my porch light's going to turn cool white, and that's because I want to actually be able to see the kid, and I want them to be able to see the porch as well in case it's snowing or icy. The Govi Glide, which I've called Govi Wall Light, has a ton of options here in the Amazon application. So I'm actually putting it into music mode, and I've selected this Energic mode, which seems to be really good. It provides a rainbow look as the music's playing, so it's a lot of fun. I could also choose the scene mode, and then they actually have a Halloween scene that is very good as well. But for now, I'm just going to choose to turn on the music mode. Then my speaker is going to say, "Welcome to Halloween," and I'm going to play the Addams Family theme song on my studio. That's the name of that speaker right there. And you can see I've selected the provider, plus I've set a timer for 30 seconds. You could set that for any length of time that you would like, and it'll play for that time. So this should come on as they're walking up the steps, and then once they're kind of on their way leaving, once that 30 seconds is over, I'm going to wait another 30 seconds and I'm going to change my porch light back to orange. So you could wait a different time segment or you could wait no time at all, but basically this means that the entire routine will take about a minute to play the song for 30 seconds, wait another 30 seconds, and then change that porch light back. So let's see what happens as I lift up this motion sensor and it sees me.
Welcome to Halloween.
So now this is going to wait another 30 seconds and then it will trigger that porch light back to orange. But you could see this whole routine is set up and ready for people to walk up to your home. So that's getting pretty wild, but I think there's one that's even easier here. Now this is called the Wisecam Pan V2. It's a brand new product. You could truly use a V1, but this actually rotates and it can follow people. Now this is about a $40 US smart camera, and as it rotates and follows people around your space, you're actually going to be able to put a little decoration on top. You'll have to keep the lens free and clear, but just stick a small decoration. It can't be super heavy, but you can have something actually follow people as they move down your path. Now, we can kind of take that to another level of creep factor with a product that I think a lot of us have today. And if you have an older smart vacuum, or maybe not a so smart vacuum, it's actually going to work best with one of those because those can carry quite a bit of weight. This is not going to carry quite a bit, and that's okay. And I've done this in the past where I've kind of stuck smart vacuums in an enclosed place and just let them move about and let my kid do whatever he wants with them, and then he just ends up piling lots of stuff to have it move around and have it be a bit random. Well, you can totally do that with Halloween decorations. And again, the dumber the smart vacuum, the better on this one, because the LiDAR ones will probably stop or figure out that they've been covered by part of the decoration. So you could just stick it in a little enclosure out on your yard and have it move around, and it'll be creepy all night. Now, maybe you're a bit unsure about putting all of that stuff outside of your home. I get it. And so you can actually do a ton with a contact sensor just sitting on your door. And as you open that door, you're going to be able to start a routine, just like this motion sensor sitting here. Now, what that requires is what's called a Zigbee hub, and there's only certain Echo devices that have a Zigbee hub on them. So up on screen right now is the list of Echo speakers that have a Zigbee hub, and then up on screen now is the list of contact sensors or door and window sensors that I found that work really well with that Echo Zigbee hub. And then you can, anytime you open that door, trigger all of these things to go on. So you can open that up, start that music, have it playing even outside if you'd like, or fire off one of those mechanical animatronic things that people are paying $300 or $400 for. It'd be wild stuff. Down below in the description are a number of resources to help you. So I have all of the products listed that I would recommend that you use for these different components as we talked about them throughout the video. You can check those out and you're going to be able to set these things up. They're not that difficult. Now, I know most of our regular viewers here on Automate Your Life are going to be able to do this right away. They're not going to have trouble with much of this, but if you are struggling or if you're wondering how to do something and you'd like a more detailed tutorial, leave a comment down below and I will get to it and direct you to a resource, or maybe I'll have to create a quick little tutorial video here on Automate Your Life. And I really do believe that right now kids need to have just a little bit of extra fun. They might need a little bit of extra effort from us as parents. And if you're looking for some ideas for how to entertain your kids, the video that's up on screen has a ton of ideas how to take these little smart products or smart gadgets, repurpose them just a little bit and get way more out of them and give your kids a great time. Otherwise, thanks for watching today, and of course, don't hate, automate.